In a small, quiet forest, tucked away beneath the gnarled roots of an ancient tree, lived a colony of ants. Their world was one of order and rhythm. Every single day, without fail, they would march in perfect, unwavering lines, each one carrying a piece of food, a crumb of a leaf, or a speck of dust. They worked together, a silent, unified force, never uttering a word of complaint. It was just the way things were. But among this sea of diligent workers was Lyra, a tiny ant with a mind that never seemed to rest. She was smaller than most, but her thoughts were vast and boundless. One day, while carrying a particularly heavy breadcrumb, a question bubbled up inside her, a question she could no longer keep down. She turned to the ant behind her and asked, "Why must we always follow the queen's orders? Why do we just march in these same lines day after day? Why can't we find our own path, explore on our own?" No one answered. The ant behind her simply nudged her forward, and the line continued its steady, relentless pace. They just kept marching, but for Lyra, it was too late. The seed of doubt had been planted in her heart, and it was beginning to sprout. She looked at the endless line of her brothers and sisters, and for the first time, she didn't see unity. She saw a prison. One afternoon, the air grew heavy. Dark clouds began to gather on the horizon, and a low, distant rumble of thunder echoed through the forest floor. Just then, a flash of vibrant color danced past her. It was a butterfly, its wings painted with brilliant shades of orange and blue. It fluttered down, landing on a nearby flower, and seemed to laugh, a sound like rustling petals. "Why do you live down there in the dirt, little one?" The butterfly chirped. "It's so dark and boring. Come with me up here, there's sunshine, endless flowers, and true freedom." Those words, sunshine, flowers, freedom, sparkled in Lyra's mind like sunlight breaking through a rain cloud. Freedom, that was it. That was what she craved. She glanced back at her colony, at her friends and family, still carrying their tiny burdens in complete silence. A wave of pity washed over her. "They're trapped," she thought to herself. "They don't even know what they're missing. But I want more than this. I want to be free." And just like that, with one last look at the life she had always known, Lyra abandoned her crumb, broke from the line, and followed the beautiful butterfly toward the wide open sky. For a few glorious moments, it was everything she had imagined. The world from above was a breathtaking tapestry of greens and yellows. The air smelled sweet. She felt her heart soar. This was living. But then the storm arrived. The sky, once a canvas for her dreams, turned a menacing shade of gray. The gentle breeze became a fierce wind, and the rain began to fall not in soft drops, but in heavy, punishing sheets. The butterfly, her guide to this new world, shrieked as its delicate wings became soaked and heavy. With a desperate flap, it flew away, seeking shelter for itself, leaving Lyra completely alone on a rapidly flooding leaf. The tiny ant, who had felt so big just moments before, was now helpless. The gentle stream she had crossed was now a raging river, and the leaf she clung to was tossed about like a forgotten toy. The water roared in her ears. The sky grew darker and darker. As the storm's current swept her further and further away from everything she had ever known, Lyra whispered weakly into the wind, "I thought I was escaping chains, but I was leaving behind the only ones who cared for me." When the storm finally passed, and the sun peeked through the clouds, the forest was clean and calm. Deep underground, in their intricate network of tunnels, the ant colony was safe. They were warm, dry, and together. They had felt the storm coming, and following the queen's orders, they had prepared. They had survived together. But Lyra never returned. The story of Lyra is a quiet reminder. Sometimes the things in our lives that feel like constraints, the rules, the responsibilities, the traditions are actually the very things that protect us from the storm. Loyalty isn't about being blind. It's about putting your trust in something that has been proven to work, proven to care, time and time again. It's the anchor that keeps you steady when the winds of chaos begin to blow. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Stay safe and take care.